When does a baby become someone who deserves rights to you?
To me, in my opinion, I know this is kind of like a crazy, but I think like 6 months. And I don't even think it should have rights at that point. Like, I feel like newborns barely have rights. Why do we have more rights on fetuses?
All right. Well, what do you care about?
I like music. That's kind of all I do, honestly. Yeah. So.
Do you care at all about the political atmosphere that's going on?
I do care a little bit about political atmosphere. Yeah. I'm independent.
Okay. So, as an independent, how do you feel about Trump taking office? Do you have high hopes? Are you a little nervous?
I'm a little nervous. I feel like I would have been nervous either way. I'm just anti two-party system. I feel like we're just falling victim over and over again with two options.
Yeah. Who would you pick to be in the president's seat?
Out of the two?
No, out of anybody.
Out of anybody? I don't know.
You're like me.
Me.
Yeah, myself. So actually, between the two, who did you want to win?
I voted for Kamala.
Okay. All right. What led you more to her than Donald Trump?
Personally, it was more of a social issues thing, especially abortion, stuff like that was just stuff that I was passionate about, considering just experiences that I've had in my friends.
Okay.
With Florida laws.
Yeah. Did the Florida laws prevent your friends from receiving an abortion? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're pregnant right now or had the baby?
No, it was a forced miscarriage. And I felt like that was just a really weird situation. Yeah.
What is a forced miscarriage?
It's not my story to tell, so.
I just never heard the term forced miscarriage. I don't even know what that is.
It was basically she couldn't get an abortion, and she has a lot of issues where she couldn't have the baby herself. So basically she just didn't eat for a few days until.
So she starved herself in order to miscarry.
Yeah, so that she wouldn't have to carry the baby.
Okay. And so you knew that this was happening, and there was no way to find support for her instead of her feeling like she just had to starve herself and then kill her baby?
I guess. I guess I don't see it as killing a baby. I found it as her trying to save her life and her career, so.
Do you think a career is more important than a child or a human being?
It's more than a career, it's a life. It's your whole life.
It is a life. There is a life that she purposely forced to leave her body and kill.
If she wants a career, she should be able to have the career instead of going to having to have a child. That's a whole. Also, going through birth, if you don't want to have a baby and you go through birth, that's traumatizing.
I don't think birth is as scary as people lead us to believe, but I also think women are very strong and they're very capable, and I don't think that we have to choose between a career and being a mother. There's absolutely no reason why in 2025, in the culture we live in right now and all the resources we have, why women are being told that they have to choose. We are very strong. We have a lot of support systems nowadays. Actually, the men in this generation, I would say millennials and past, are way more involved as fathers and dads than an older generation. So I think there's a lot of change going on to where we don't have to tell women that they have to choose a career or their child, because now your friend, she might be at work one day and have a wonderful career, but she's always going to remember about that baby that she forced to leave her body and she killed.
I mean, personally, I don't agree, but I think it's okay that we don't agree. That's why I'm independent.
Yeah.
I feel
do you think it's sad?
I think it's sad that she had to do that, yeah.
But did she have to do that?
I know her and I know her situation, yes.
Yeah. No one has to do that.
In your opinion?
No, that's just a fact.
No,
there is never a reason.
If you don't know her, nobody has to do that.
Yeah, no one has to kill their child. No one. There's never a reason that you have to kill your child.
A 7-week-old fetus.
Yes, that is a human.
Okay.
Is it something else?
What?
Is it something else? Is it a human?
I just see it as a clump of cells. A fetus hasn't breathed, hasn't done any of that, so I don't see it as a baby.
Okay, so what is it?
A fetus.
What is a fetus?
A clump of cells.
Okay. What if we looked at those cells? What kind of DNA would they have?
I don't know. Just cells with human. You're gonna say human DNA.
Yeah, human DNA. This person in there with those cells have human DNA. a unique set of DNA that will never be replicated again because they belong to that person. A fetus is just one stage in a human's life cycle. So like you're a young adult, one day you'll be an elderly person. That doesn't mean that you weren't a person at this stage in your life, but when you're 90 years old, you're still going to be a person, and you're a person right now, and you were a person at the 9-month mark when you were in your mother's womb.
Yeah. I guess in my opinion, I don't see how forcing a woman to have children is going to help any situation. Or children like in the care system, like foster care, swimming with children who need help. Like it's not, and also like you're just gonna, some people shouldn't be parents. And
some people, I would agree that some people aren't good parents, but you're never a good parent if you choose to eliminate your child's life. I mean, period, right there.
Well,
you're not a good.
You never had a kid.
Well, no. Once a woman becomes pregnant, they're a parent. She's a mother.
In your opinion?
No, she has offspring.
But that has not offspring from her. So I guess it's not.
I like that medical term.
In my personal opinion, I see it as just like a pregnant woman.
Okay. What is she pregnant with?
A baby, I guess.
A baby. So she is a mother, and that is her offspring.
Baby. A pre-baked baby.
A pre-baked baby?
Yeah.
Okay. When does a baby become someone who deserves rights to you?
To me, in my opinion, I know this is kind of like a crazy, but I think like 6 months. And I don't even think it should have rights at that point. Like, I feel like newborns barely have rights. Why do we have more rights on fetuses?
So you think like a newborn shouldn't have rights?
No, I didn't say that. I said newborns barely have rights.
They barely
so
have
why are we really focused on like not born fetuses, clumps of cells who like can't even form a thought?
Can newborns form a cohesive thought and articulate that?
Probably not words, but they can they can communicate. They can try to do stuff like that.
They have instincts and ways to communicate, but a baby can survive outside of the womb at 20 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
No, because your friend forced her baby to die and then give birth.
She did what she had to do for her career.
Well, if that's what she had to do, then let's name it. She killed her baby.
No.
Yeah.
No, she's on a strict set of medications that like don't allow that to happen. Like she would have had to cold turkey all her like medications.
Yeah. Women deserve to sacrifice for their children.
What?
Women deserve to sacrifice for their children. And I think that's something that women aren't told nowadays, especially this generation and especially just in our culture. Women deserve to make difficult choices and sacrifice for their children.
Yeah,
because the children deserve this. Women have a responsibility to their child. And it's not a responsibility to have a fancy career that you can make a lot of money and get a lot of pretty dresses and designer handbags. When you are pregnant, your priority becomes your child. And if you have to make sacrifices to do that, that's what you should do. And women are not told that.
When you don't want to be pregnant and you're in a situation like that, like it's not fair to have to put your whole life aside to carry this child.
Is it fair to kill that? Where does the child come in?
What do you mean?
Where does the child come in? I hear a lot of the woman, if you don't want. Well, what about the child? Where does the child come in?
A child doesn't know what it wants. It can't think.
That's why, good job. That's why it depends on the mother to make good choices and sacrifice.
If we're like, I don't know, I feel like a dog or like a cow can form more thoughts than a fetus, okay? Mm-hmm. Think about how we treat cows and shit in like our meat industry.
Yeah.
We're not crazy about cow rights.
I think there's a whole organization called PETA dedicated to animal rights.
Laws who are like stopping like cows and stuff like that. Like
if you abuse animals.
Okay.
Yeah, if you abuse animals, you can go to jail.
If you kill a cow, you're not going to go to jail.
Well, that's because a cow is a cow and a human child is a human child.
However, cows have a high emotional capacity, about the same as a dog, and more than a fetus clump of cells.
Yeah.
So why are we more focused on the clump of cells than the thing with 2 eyes and that can move?
Because a fetus also has 2 eyes, number one, and a fetus can experience stimuli to their environment, and they are aware of what's going on. They move away from abortion instruments when they're inserted into their space, and they can feel pain. But furthermore, that doesn't even matter. A cow is a cow. A human child is a human child, and a human has more rights than a cow does, and they have more intrinsic value because Because a cow is a cow. Well, here, let me do this. Okay, if we give cows rights, would you be willing to give a fetus rights?
Here's what I'm saying is I bring up that point because I feel like we hold so much value on like fetuses and stuff because us as people, we hold ourselves as superior. When I feel like that's not the case. I feel like we're just kind of making it up as we go.
Okay. Do we have rights?
Yeah, we do have rights.
We do have rights. Okay.
Sometimes.
What? Well, why do we have rights?
Amendments, shit like that.
Okay, but do we deserve them?
I feel like rights are deserved.
Okay.
Which I know you feel like it's a right of the child, but I feel like it's a right of the mother to be able to choose if she wants the child.
Okay. Couldn't she make that choice before she has sex?
Okay, see, that doesn't always work like that, though.
It does.
So no, there's cases of rape, there's cases of incest, there's cases of people not taking condoms off without telling a woman. There are hundreds of situations where a woman could get pregnant without wanting to be pregnant, without even wanting to have sex, or a lack of education on the matter. Like it's not about
all that aside, what do we do with the new person that is created? When do they deserve rights?
What do you mean by that?
The new person that's created.
Like when do they have rights?
When do they have rights? Yeah. When do people get their rights?
When do people get their rights? I guess when they're born or when they get a birth certificate with a social security card.
I thought you were independent. You're over here like, well, we need social security cards to have rights.
I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying I'm pro social security card, but you're saying when do people get rights, and I'm saying when they're formally recognized by the government, I feel like they get rights.
Okay, all right. I appreciate you for your time.
Of course.
We are going to just move on to a couple more people. I really appreciate your time, and I love your nose ring.
Oh, thank
Mine
you.
fell out when I was younger, when I was sleeping, and I was too scared to go through
It's really
it.
weird to see you. I like watch you sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And again, and I'm freezing, so. I am formally back to visiting college campuses. The first one is USF. If you want to support my work to bring you this content that I know you love, go to patreon.com/Kaitlin Bennett to support my work. Even $5 a month gets you into my private Facebook group, and we can chat one-on-one about what I should be asking Gen Z out here. Or if you want to help fund my babysitter fund, you can give a super thanks right down below. It's very convenient, and it supports my work. Thank you.